Hi guys, it's Huff. I am back again. If you can hear a fan, it's because it's really hot. If you can hear a dog, it's because it's decided it has to start barking. I am back with another book review. This is for a completely different style of book from the one I reviewed last time, which I will link down below if you're interested. This book was a very long-awaited book for me, and for my daughter as well. I had been waiting with bated breath. I normally wait till books get to paperback before I buy them because they're cheaper that way. But I bought this one as soon as I could get my hands on it in a store. I could have bought it online ages before I did, but I didn't. However, when I saw it in a store, I did buy it straight away in hardback, and it is The Shepherd's Crown by Terry Pratchett. Now, if you know anything about Terry Pratchett, you will know that this was his last published works after he died. It was actually published after he'd actually died, but he wrote it. It was the last book that he finished writing that was getting published. It is the last book in the Tiffany Aching series. There's Tiffany Aching. There are a bunch of other books which you should really read first before you read this one, otherwise it won't make sense. Just in case you don't know what they are called. Oh jeez, I can't find it. Sorry. There is the We Free Men, Hatful of Sky, Winter Smith, and I Shall Wear Midnights. This one is the fifth one. I started reading Terry Pratchett to my daughter, and I started with the Tiffany Aching novels, and she absolutely loves these books. The last two book weeks at school she has gone as Tiffany Aching. Not that anybody else at her school seems to know who the hell she is, but I think it's fabulous because Terry Pratchett's my favourite writer. We're also working our way through his Discworld novels. I read to her every single night, pretty much. And most of the time it's Terry Pratchett that we're reading. So we're both really looking forward to this book. It is written in classic Terry style, full of humour. It is classed as a young adult's book, but I think it's suitable for everybody. In fact, almost all of Terry Pratchett's books, even the ones that are classed as children's books, I think are suitable for everybody. I loved Morris and the Educated Rodents, and that's classed as a children's book. I've also read the Bromeliad and Johnny Maxwell Saves the World, all of his books as well, that series as well. This is a fabulous last work from Terry Pratchett. It is a fabulous last work for Tiffany. It brings back some older characters. There is some really, really sad stuff that happens in here. Things come to an end and things begin. Let's just say it that way. If you have read the first one, there is a return of the Fairy Queen, which is always nice to see, although things happen a little differently, of course. I'm not going to spoil the storyline other than to say that it is what you would expect from Terry Pratchett. It's funny, it's insightful, there are so many puns in it, especially to do with the English language and the way that the English language works and how people might actually misinterpret stuff that's said. Beautifully written as always. Tiffany is probably one of my favourite characters in a book ever. The fact that she is still technically a child through the whole series is even better, and I think it's one of the reasons that if you have a daughter in particular, but even if you have just children, you should read them these books, because they really do tell your child that if you believe in something strongly enough, if you want something bad enough, you can actually do it. You can become anything that you want to become. And I think that's a lot of the reason that I really, really love this particular part of the Discworld novels, is that it's such a great story for children to learn about their own strengths and abilities and following their passion and their heart, sometimes to the expense of all else. But Yeah, absolutely fabulous novel. One of my sons is currently reading this, hence the bookmarks in the book. I would give this 10 out of 10. No doubt about it. This is an absolutely fabulous book. I highly recommend that you read it. I highly recommend that you read anything you can get hands on that Terry has been involved, or Sir Terry has been involved with. Even the history of Discworld novels, they will give you a massive insight into human nature, as well as including a Discworld story in them. They are really, really fabulous. The Carpet People he also wrote, which he actually wrote as a teenager and then reworked it as he got a bit older. Again, his talent was immense. His output of books over the years, not only by himself but with other people, especially Bad Omens with Neil Gaiman, one of my favourite books ever. Absolutely, his legacy is incredible, and he's probably one writer that I would recommend that everybody read at least something from him, just so you understand the passion that people have for him. There is some mention that they found a new element or something to go on the periodic table, and there's apparently a petition to name it Octaron after the element that is in the Discworld novels, which is a special element in Sir Terry's honour. So yeah, this book is an absolute 10 out of 10. You have to read this, if for nothing else than for the amazing parts that include the Wee Free Men, the Nakmak Feegle, the most hilarious pixies in the world and in the multiverse. So yes, Terry Pratchett's The Shepherd's Crown, 10 out of 10, must read. And if you want to subscribe, click down below. Leave me a thumbs up if you like reviews, especially of stuff that's not makeup and nail polish related English. And leave me a comment down below. I try to respond to all comments, and I'll see you in my next video. See ya!